All right, 8th graders, this is part 1 of your guys' thermal energy lab. What we would be doing is mixing equal masses of hot and cold water. So since we're using water for both our hot and our cold, we're gonna assume that if we use the same volume, we're also assuming the same mass. Okay, so we're again saying that we're using equal masses of hot and cold water. So over here, I have just a stock solution of boiling hot water that I just boiled and poured into that cup, and I'm gonna use this for all 3 parts. And then just some ice water right here. I'm just gonna use the water part, not the ice. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and pour out 100 milliliters of hot water into my graduated cylinder. And I'm going to pour that into my hot cup and get a temperature. It's very warm. Okay, and while we watch the cold, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this thermometer in here. You guys will be able to see the temperature of the hot. Okay, over to my cold side. I'm going to pour 100 milliliters of cold water. No ice cubes, so it's just straight cold water. So there's 100 milliliters there, and I'm going to pour that into my cold water. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our hot water temperature. It looks like it's stabilized at about 68.2-ish degrees Celsius. We can call it 68.1. It's still kind of going down a little bit. So we'll just call it 68 is good. And then we're gonna go ahead and move this over to our cold and get a temperature reading on our cold. So this just came right off the ice. So as that comes down, I'm just going to tell you guys what to be expected. So on the first slide of this, you guys should have made a prediction about what you think would happen if you mixed equal masses of hot and cold water. So this is that prediction that you made. You guys are going to see what happens, and then you're going to be asked to compare how your prediction looked compared to what actually happened. So it looks like we're at about 10.6 degrees Celsius. So from here, I'm going to take my hot water and I'm going to pour it into my cold water. That makes for pretty full cups there. And then this is gonna be my mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my thermometer to kind of mix it up just a little bit. And we're gonna let that stabilize as well. Let it sit there. So it looks like we're already stable at about 37.4 degrees Celsius. So use those 3 temperatures that you guys just observed to fill out your data table, and then we can move on to part 2.